Welcome to Warblog. This is a quick rule update or development update. Not necessarily a new feature, but it's sort of a new feature. Basically, anti-tank guided missiles. Now, the thing is, I've already put these in, so let's find a scenario. Let's find the scenario that I was fiddling with. Testing this. So what you can see are these anti-tank units. Now they've been there for a while. They still work in the same way, but the way they worked was they would have to get next to another unit like that, and then they would engage in combat just like everything else. But the thing is, I've been watching a lot of these videos from the war, so to speak, and it's quite clear and apparent that, to be quite honest, I saw this thing on the Sevelopment channel about anti-tank guided missiles and about how they're being sort of integrated into the battlefield in sort of new ways, and being used more mainstream, not just in these sort of irregular, asymmetric wars, but also by Western powers, as a sort of more conventional force, so to speak. Losing my tongue there a little on that, but basically they're having separate, like a heavy weapons company, they're having anti-tank guided missile companies, and they're putting anti-tank platoons in companies and mixed platoons, and they're all supported by these anti-tank teams, anti-tank guided missile units, and things, and it's talking about first generation, second generation, and third generation, and the price of them and the cost of them and the use of them in these conflicts, and how they're trying to develop them and modify them, evolve them, so that they're taking out anti-tanks, but also taking out armoured vehicles. But they're also talking about using them to just take out regular infantry positions and defended points, things like that. They're just being used more commonly for just about everything. But the thing that I picked up on from the video, as much as anything else, was the fact that they've got a range of sort of like, well, I don't know what the minimum is. It seemed to give a minimum that seemed quite a fair distance, but they're talking about sort of 2 kilometre range, with some of these new systems having sort of 8 kilometre range. Well, obviously, if you can only use these anti-tank units here, for example this one, by moving them to there, then it's that's not what they're doing. So what they're doing, obviously, they're sitting sort of maybe here, and then they're firing. So there, what's happened here is I have, so I don't have, he's not in range. So basically, all these units have a default range of 2. So because there's so many of them, I might go back and give them artillery ranges, like in the same thing. But at the moment, I've given them a default range of 2. So, for example, this guy, that's probably why he's sat there. He's got his used to. Yeah. Let's look at this guy here. So he's obviously not in range, but we can now use him to fire at this infantry position. Now, if he fires at that infantry position, he'll only be worth 1 because it's just infantry, but you can still do it for that. So, and the reason you don't get the bonus on that is because there's going to be hundreds of these. It's going to be no different to, say, a close range RPG attack. The clear thing about these anti-tank guided missiles is that they are actually anti-tank, and they will do a lot more damage to a tank unit, because a tank unit might only have, say, 4 elements to it, and if you can destroy one of them, it's 25% damage. Whereas if a company has like 200 people in it and you destroy a position of 3 people, it's, you know, that's irrelevant really. That's 1%, isn't it? 1.5%. So now the only actual we've got some armoured stuff down here, but we've got some mechanised here, and so we could fire this unit at this stack, so we could either target the motorised, but you target one. So this is a particular feature of it. I'm trying to sort of put it in there so that it's sort of balanced, etc., because they will get a forward bonus on that. So if I select this unit and I want to attack that unit with this one, now basically that was a 1 to 3, because I still yet to figure out why it's 3.6, but it's basically gone up by 4 because it's got a 1 times 4, and then it's obviously gone down 10%, presumably because I can't figure it out. I did it last night and it was pretty late, but there's a 10% modifier somewhere, and it's probably because he's not. I don't know. Maybe he's in a town or something. I sort of looked, and it doesn't look like he's in a town, but maybe it's because he's dug in, or you know. But he gets his bonus for being dug in. So there's something there. I think I don't know what it is. I think it's got to be something that he's sort of like, you know, there's an infantry modifier because he's mechanized, and we've not got mechanized or armor in there. He's down 10% on that. But anyway, the point is, you don't really have to worry too much about that. But the point is, you know, he got a factor on that. So if he wasn't dug in, and he was in open, we might get more on that. Let's just actually end that turn and move him into there, so he's in the open fields, and give it a go. End the turn. Now we should get 2 units on this now. Now we should have 2 units, because he's actually, this is another little, it's not a bug, it's just an issue. He's separate unit to that. So if I actually fired this one first at that, he should get, yeah, so he got his 4 bonus. And now, as you can see, that other unit that was there is now also in here. This is a little thing that is sort of, it's not changed. It's not as though we got an extra one. He wasn't in this box right at the very start when the page appeared. So we had the one here that we just fired, but we had 4 versus 4. So that was a 1-to-1 attack. Now, I mean, although that's sort of not really up to much, I've yet to consider really, you know, I mean, I could maybe upgrade that, but I'd have to upgrade it to, you know, quite a lot to actually make a difference there. And again, I think it's a form of numbers. I mean, a mechanized unit might not necessarily be full of mechanized things. It might have a lot of infantry with it as well that were, you know, riding along with these AFVs and such. But so that's sort of that. I mean, we can have another go with this guy, just for the hell of it. And in this case, we caused 3 damage. I don't know why he's not showing there. We got 3 damage. So that was actually we didn't get, that's a problem. Ignore that. I'll have to sort that out. Basically, it's not going around in circles. I've got an idea of how that might be sorted now, actually. But if we look at now at say this tank unit, let's leave him there, and then this turn, and let's move him there. So we've got these 2 units. So in this instance, they both ended up in there. We can't do this twice. If we do this, what will happen? You can see the error. At the moment, it's set up with him as a radio box. So if I fire 1, I got 2-to-1 odds there because I had a 9 versus 4. I don't know why it was a 9. Oh no, it went up by 10. For some reason, it's gone down by 10, so I'll have to figure that out. But we've got 2-to-1 odds, which is actually quite good. We've got a die roll of 1. So there's no effect. I'll have to look into that as well. But now, because it's not got a radio box, and this is just a development thing, I'll probably sort out next thing actually. If I was to do that again, but if I was to go back, for example, I mean this is just sort of development stuff really that I'm picking up in this video. You can see now he's already fired. He's now available to hit again, so we can attack him again. But obviously we've got 2-to-1 last time. We've got a die roll of 2 this time, and both had no effect. So again, I'm going to have to actually look into that. But this is the principle. So obviously this is still something that I've yet to polish off. But the thing is, I've got the basics of it all in place, and we're just getting to this stage. There's quite a lot of faffing around. The issues we've just seen there are probably just more cosmetic, so I'll be able to figure those out. But anyway, I hope that all makes sense. Damn it, Mr. Thing. Yep, and I'll speak to you later. Cheerio.